Welcome to week 5 of our fantasy football commentary. You might be asking yourself, is that a Christmas tree behind him in October? You would be correct, because my wife is a Christmas fanatic, and she likes the Christmas tree up very, very early. So this week I'm just getting over being sick. You might see a lot of coughing, nose blowing during this episode, so I'm not completely over it, but I'm going to try and get through it. Also, Josh cut my hair just for you. Like it. I don't even see that or not. Look. All right. The things that matter. Okay, so let's start out with our standings here. And Sherry has taken over the league at 5-1. Pretty well doing what she did last year. I mean, doing exactly what she did last year with almost the same players. So Sherry's in first place at 4-1, and then it's going to be Gina and Todd are bringing up second and third place, tied at. Sherry's 5-1. Todd and Gina are 4-2, and Bill, myself, and Too Many Cooks are all tied for third at 3-3. Tomahawk has moved up to fourth, tied with Jeff and Josh and Kirk for the last 4 spots there. And as far as points for, which is always going to be the tiebreaker of the league, if it comes down to that, if record doesn't do it, I am now in second place, and Bill has taken over the lead at 664. And then it is Gina and Tomahawk. All right. Moving on, let's talk about last week. Oh, before I forget, Jude is now ahead 12-7 on the predictions. This just in, I'm terrible at predicting fantasy football games. Almost as bad as I am drafting fantasy football, evidently, because most of my team is gingered. All right. Enough pity. Let's talk about what happened in week 6. So, talk about myself versus Detonator here first. I had 3 injuries. Fields went out, McCaffrey went out, Montgomery went out, DK Metcalf went out for a little bit. My week was completely decimated. It was terrible, and it's probably going to be terrible this week too, because even if McCaffrey plays, but we'll talk about this week. Todd did enough to win. He didn't really wow with anything necessarily, but he did enough considering what I had going on. Tyreek Hill outscored everybody on both sides, but it wasn't enough. It should be enough, but it isn't. So, really nothing really stands out. AJ Brown had a good game. Justin Herbert had an okay game. Justin Tucker, I guess, did really well for him. 16 points is good for a kicker, but yep, Todd did enough to win. All right, we got Scott versus Kirk, and Kirk plays Kirk Cousins, and he made the wrong call. So he sat Jalen Hurts going against the Jets, and Hurts got 21. He doubled what Kirk Cousins would have done. Would that have won the league or won the week for him? No, but it would have got him closer. Scott didn't really do great either. He only got 80 points, but that was enough last week. Any standouts here for Scott? CeeDee Lamb got 12 points. Really Ain't much else to mention. Trevor Lawrence is not doing great, but he's did enough for him this week. Yep. Let's see. Oh, you know what? He played he would have Kirk would have won if he would have played Kyle Pitts this week, but that's always a gamble with Pitts, and it hardly ever pays off, but it would have this week. Trying to soothe my sore throat. Yeah. All right. Next round. We got Gina versus Josh. So the big deal last week with Gina versus Josh was that he played Matthew Stafford, and she played Puka and Cooper Kupp, who Cooper Kupp did really well with 21 points, and he actually outscored Matthew Stafford because he had so many yards and not that many touchdowns at 15 for Stafford. So rarely does it not work out to play the other team's quarterback when they have wide receivers in the game, but didn't work out that time. Again, Jonathan Taylor does not hardly do anything, and Zach Moss was the main guy again for Josh there. But Tony Pollard had a nice game. Derrick Henry did okay. So Gina did. She had a good week. 97 should be enough to win. 80. 85, 80, I'm not going to give you the nod as that your team did well and you should have won, but at 97, I'll give her that nod. And again, no matter what was going on, she put herself in a good position to win every week with that score. All right, so the two top scorers of the week played each other again, and Bill loses with 113 points. Tomahawk went off again because of those Miami running backs. Jared Goff had almost 30 points for him. Kyron Williams, who's now on IR, had 22 points. And Raheem Mostert had 32. Chiefs D, 18. Yep, he did. Mostert and A-Chain are be interesting to see what happens when A-Chain comes back, or A-Chan, whatever they want to call him. Josh Allen didn't do enough with 17. Breece Hall had a good game for Bill. So did Kenneth Walker. Really, the rest of them. Well, Amon Ra got 19. He almost got 20 points. Yeah, that was a good call by me, telling him to put him in. Bill had a really good game. Just played the top team. Stinks when that happens. It's a tough loss. All right, and then Sherry versus Jeff. Lamar Jackson didn't deliver again for Jeff. Would he have done better? Let's see. Brock Purdy, no. So Jeff played the right quarterback as far as his lineup went. DeAndre Swift. He was playing the Jets. Just not going to happen when you play the Jets for the most part. Really, he had two people that scored in double digits for him. Jeff, that's not going to win you any weeks when you don't have 4 or 5 people in double digits. Which that's exactly what Sherry had. She had Mahomes went for 31. Mahomes went for 21, which is double digits. Jacobs almost got double digits. And then Etienne was 20 points. Jalen Waddle, 11 points. So Adam Thielen at 18.5. So, yep. That's how it went. Let's look at this coming up week, if I can find it. All right. So we're going into week 7 of the official Fantasy Football League here, and I am set up to lose spectacularly this week. Justin Fields is out still. Don't know if it matters or not, but Christian McCaffrey, if he does play for me, he's going to be on a limited snap count, and he's got a feeling he's going to go out in a blaze of glory and get really injured this game. I'm decimated. David Montgomery is gone for a while. I have I have Tyreek Hill. That's who's going to be my team this week, and it's not going to be nearly enough. So Cherry's going to whip my butt. Mahomes, and yeah, it's not even hardly worth talking about. It's going to be so awful. That's just how it's going to be. Cherry will continue. All right, so we have Scott versus Josh. Let's kind of look up the matchup here. So Josh is trying to get Jordan Love again, which that's actually maybe a good play against Denver this week. Jordan Love, Denver's had the score run up on him this year a lot. All right. So then Stevenson, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs. On the other side for Scott, we have Scott is playing Sam Howell. Trevor Lawrence is not on a bye. He actually played. It's an interesting call by Scott. We'll see how that works out. I almost played Howell earlier this year. He's got Eckler who's back, so that's nice. That's a nice add for Scott. Jerome Ford, Calvin Ridley really crapped the bed this week at half of a point. Ugh, awful. Alexander Madison. Who's the Browns? The Browns playing Indianapolis. That's gonna be a good defense for him there. And yeah, Saints D only got 5 points for Josh. I'm gonna go with Scott this week. I keep going with Josh, and he keeps losing, so I'll try my luck with Scott this week. I got to catch up to Jude somehow. Give Scott the win this week. All right. So we got Tomahawk versus Kirk. And Jared Goff's going against Baltimore. It's going to be not a great day for Goff. Baltimore's got a pretty good defense. Got Pacheco. Throws in A.J. Dillon. Yeah. It's not going to be a good running back there to replace Kyron Williams, but you got to do what you got to do, I guess. Tutu Atwell, Marquise Brown. I don't know. Not really digging the lineup this week for Dwayne. The other side, Hurts is going against Miami. Miami doesn't have a defense. They got an offense, but they don't have a defense. Bijan, Brian Robinson, Godwin, Myers. Oh, look at that. Kirk going with Kyle Pitts and Zach Ertz. Kirk is looking for any edge he can get here. He's trying different stuff. That's rare. Oh, well, yeah, he's got Jamar Chase, Garrett Wilson, and Joe Mixon, Damian Pierce all on buys, so that's what he's got going. And Mike Williams is on IR. he's got two people on his bench that are actually in the game this week. I'm not really digging. I'm going to give it to Kirk this week. Dwayne, I think your winning streak's going to end this week. I think Jalen Hurts is going to do really well against Miami, and Bijan's going to do well. I think Brian Robinson is playing the Jets, so that's a good game for him. Kobe Myers is doing really well. I think that I just don't think Tutu Atwell and AJ Dillon, they're not going to do much in my opinion. Although AJ Dillon is going against Denver, but just not enough volume there because Aaron Jones is playing this week. Marquise Brown should do okay. All right, so I'm giving that one to Kirk. Moving on here. Just in Case versus Gina. Just in Case starts off with 17 points for Kamara. That's always nice. Olave didn't do what he should have. Gina is starting Rashad White and James Cook as her running backs. Why is that? Because Pollard and Henry are on buys. And Gina also has Deebo Samuel out. Same thing with Gina here. She's got 2 people on her bench that are actually going to play this week. Everybody else is injured or on buys. So on the other side, Jeff has Saquon, DeAndre going against Miami. Saquon going against Washington. Tyler Lockett's going against Arizona. I don't think you got it this week, Gina, with your running backs being out. Tua's going against that Philly defense. I don't think he's going to have as great of a game as he usually does. Yep, I am going to give it to Jeff this week. All right, last game of the week here. Detonator versus Bill. Let's look at some stats here. So Justin Herbert's going against Kansas City. That's not a good draw for Justin Herbert. Kansas City's defense is killing it. It's also got Jerick McKinnon in there. Tyler Algier, yeah. A.J. Brown and Pittman. Good plays. Darren Waller, blah. DJ Moore, blah. Yeah, I'm just going to give it to Bill this week. DJ Moore doesn't have a quarterback. Justin Herbert's playing a really good defense. McKinnon's not the number 1 running back. Tyler Algier's not the number 1 running back. Darren Waller's not what he used to be. Yeah. All right, so I'm giving it to Bill. Bill's just got the same lineup he's got as last week pretty well, and why not? Got 113 points. All right, let's get Jude in here for his points. I got to try to catch up here somehow. Jude!
I think that Outrageous will beat Monagitois. I think that Too Many Cooks will beat Car 54, Where Are You? I think the Tomahawk will beat Arcade Cage Clan. And I think that Just in Case will beat Resort Queen Fant. I think that here my team will destroy the Detonator.
Wow, you're going to destroy, huh? You know you're winning 12-7 now? You are murdering me. You are destroying me. It's true. All right, we'll see y'all next week.